In this video of Bahia Honda State Park in the Keys, we cover a site-to-site tour of Buttonwood Campground and the Bayside cabins and campsites. We'll also show some of the amenities like the Marina, Bayside and Atlantic beaches, Nature Center, and the famous Bahia Honda Bridge. We are also going to go over the park map and the areas closed due to Hurricane Irma. Hi, I'm Alice.
And I'm Larry.
And we are Downsizing Makes Sense.
Here we are coming into the entrance of Bahia Honda State Park and the ranger station. When you go to the ranger station, they're going to ask you to pull up here to the right and then come back into registration. They're going to need your vehicle registrations and they're going to give you some rules about the park, mostly about dogs. We came a little early and they allowed us to park our RV in the Marina parking lot. This is the Bahia Honda State Park map as of December 2019. This map shows the areas of the park that are closed due to Hurricane Irma a couple years ago. This area down here, north of the ranger station, along this road, is all closed. The Sandspur camping area and the Sandspur beach, this whole area is closed. Now you can still access this beach along here and have a nice walk along this beach, which we actually show in the video, but you cannot go anywhere in this area because it's closed from hurricane damage. What we will show in the video is the Bayside camping area, which is open, both the cabins and the tent camping area. We're also going to show the Buttonwood camping area here. We're going to show the Marina area right here, and we're going to show the Atlantic Beach and the Bayside Beach area. We're also going to show the bridge, the old Bahia Honda Bridge, and the trail that goes to the bridge. Okay, after registration, they're going to take you along this road that goes along the Atlantic Beach. We're going to be turning right up here that will turn into the Buttonwood Campground area. We're going to turn right. If we turn left, that would take us to the Marina. Now they're going to give you a code at registration and you punch the code in here. They both have a vehicle height and a Class A height to put in your code. Okay, it'll pop up and we're entering the Buttonwood Campground area. Now we're going to start with campsite number 1, which is on the first left right here, and we're going to loop around in numerical order through the campground. Okay, as you can see on this corner here is campsite number 1. This is a back-end site. There are very few pull-through sites in the Buttonwood area. Here's campsite number 2. Now all these sites have electric and water. They do not have sewer hookups, and in some of the sites the water hookups are hard to get to.
We actually had to go out and get a longer hose so we can hook up the water.
Yeah, so in our campsite, which was 18, there was a spigot in between 18 and 19, and we had to reach all the way across. I just forgot to bring my extra long hose, so we needed about 50 feet to get to our spigot. But you can see here they're all gravel floor sites. They all have a picnic table, electric 30 amp and 50 amp, but there's no fire rings at any of these sites.
As was the same with Curry Hammock State Park.
Yeah, it's very similar. Yeah. But the road is paved and there's lots of room to back into your sites. The sites are clearly numbered. There is quite a bit of privacy between many of the sites, but that's why it's good to look at this video because not all of them have that much privacy and some are quite a bit wider than others. And we're coming up to what I would call the best sites in the Buttonwood area are going to be at the point here, starting with these ones right here. So there's actually a small water area behind here where you can park your boat and stuff like that. But starting at this number 13 is the tip of the point of the Buttonwood area. So 14, 15, all the way up into, I think it's 22 or 23, the awesome Bayside waterfront sites.
And that's where you can get those amazing sunsets with the bridge in the background.
I think number 16 would be the ultimate site,
yeah,
right?
That
16,
looks nice.
17, or 18 are also really good sites. You can see this campground can accommodate really large Class A's like this and still have room for a vehicle. Some of the sites are a little shallower. This is us in 18, which is an awesome site. And I'll show a little bit more detail here in our site with some video from behind our campground right here. There is a little beach right here, and you'll see right here where the dogs can play. There's a little area down, which is great. But you have this awesome view behind the campsite.
And it looks like for each site, they actually did carve out a little section like this, because we saw those at several of the campsites.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I guess each one of these Bayside areas does have a little carve out in the rocks, so you can get access to the water without having to climb over the rocks.
And there are no dogs allowed on the beach, so this was the closest our pups could get to it.
Yeah, this is really the only way to get the waters to have access. The dogs have access to the water. But you can see you have a barbecue, picnic table. It's all full gravel. There's your electric. Actually, while we were there, they're actually adjusting the water spigots. They're moving them. So by the time you see this, the spigots may be more accessible. But you can see some people really can pack it in some of these smaller sites.
And there was also some construction.
Yeah, they're working on new bathrooms and stuff that were damaged from the hurricane. I get here to 23. We're getting close to the end of the Bayside sites, and these ones at the end here are kind of have the bridge kind of in the back there. So they're probably not they're still on the water and they're still awesome, but basically the bridge is right there. And at 25, we're going to turn the corner here, and we're not going to be on the water anymore. But these are all still, beautiful sites. Okay, this road right here takes you over to the Bayside cabins and tent sites, which we'll cover later. And we come over here to 27, and these are awesome sites, but there's no water or anything like that. These have quite a bit of privacy between them, which is nice, and they still all have 30 and 50 amp and water hookups, but no sewer. The trees have actually grown back really good. I'm sure that during Hurricane Irma, most of this vegetation was probably considerably wiped out, but for right now, Bayside and Buttonwood are the only ones that are open. Sandspur may not be open for quite a while. But you can see some of the sites are smaller than others, so take a look at the video and make sure that the site that you want will fit or accommodate your unit. When you go into Reserve America, it'll tell you how long you can go. Again, this is getting back over around the corner to 34 now. And that was basically across from number 1. Here, I'm going to drive into this site here to give you a good look at what these sites look like. Okay, here's our power pedestal on the right here, and the water is right beside that one. Water is always in a little bit different spot in all of these sites, so I think that's something that they're working on improving in Buttonwood.
Yeah, they actually were working on the pipes. The water was not working for a few hours.
Right.
And there's some of that construction.
So here's the construction site where this is actually site number 36 has been taken up by construction equipment. And there right now they have a temporary bathrooms and shower area because you can see behind that they're building the building for the permanent showers and bathrooms. This is the lane for the dump station. You'd actually be coming in from the other side, and the dump station's right there beside that fence.
So you may not want to be in that spot right there, right next to the dump station.
Right. They're still adjusting some things, but at least the campground's open and fully accessible. These two sites are really close to each other with not a lot of room between them. At first I thought it was just one site, but those are two sites, 39 and 40. 41 has got lots of space right here, lots of vegetation on both sides for privacy. Like I said, many of the sites are quite a bit different as far as the amount of vegetation around them.
And you can see that, again, the water is not always in the same spot, so look carefully to see where they have their water.
Absolutely. So we're going to come around the corner here to coming up to 45. Now this is the one spot technically could be a pull-through site because it's on the corner, and you don't need to back in. I'm sure this guy probably didn't back in, he probably just drove in. But obviously there's not a lot of privacy at the spot. It's basically just a place to park
Yeah, I
your
would have.
RV. And you do have kind of a water view there. That's probably a nice thing about that
Oh,
site.
that's true. So that's why he parked the way he did.
Right. Like I said, there's lots of space in here. Look, they got
That's a
travel
wide
trailer,
one.
a
Yeah.
travel trailer, and 2 vehicles in there. So there's lots of room in these sites. So I'd say we're going to drive in here into this site again, give you a good look at what you get. This one has the water and the power pedestal together. You also get poles. I don't think all the sites had the poles for hammocks or a clothesline, but some of them did.
But as you can tell, you still want the best ones along the water.
So here's the road, and we're going to take this over to the Bayside Campsites and area. Make sure you watch there. This 6'8" is the highest vehicle that can go under that bridge, and that's why it's tent camping only on the Bayside. You cannot bring any RVs over here. Nothing over 6'8" anyways.
But we did take a nice stroll here with the dogs.
Yeah, so here's the cabins. So there's cabin 1 through 6 here. And these are actually really nice. It's kind of surprising that Bahia Honda has these really nice cabins here that are available. So just cabin 1 through 6, and they're all on the south side of this little harbor area that you'll see in the middle here. It's really cool. On the other side of the water here is the tent sites 73 through 80. But there is lots of places to go walking. Like Alice and I said, we walked all the way over from the Buttonwood to camp to take the dogs for a walk. Here's the showers and bathrooms over here. Not much here, but at least it's something for the tent camping area. Okay, now we're going to start with the actual campsites over here, starting with 73. These are minimal sites. They do not have any power. They do have water. It looks like most of them do have water, but these are minimal sites. Say some of them don't even look like they have water, so they probably have spigots at certain intervals. But these are for just tent camping.
But it is pretty nice because there aren't that many sites, and you can see all the vegetation, and it's almost like you have your own little private island out there.
Yeah, it's beautiful over here. And site number 80 be the one to have right here. This is kind of the last site at the point, and you get these awesome, bay views over here, which is great. We actually went walking down that trail with the dogs. It was beautiful. Now here's a kind of a view of kind of looking over the bay that goes. It's like this carved out harbor area between the cabins and the tent sites. The tent sites are right there over on the right hand side. Just to give you a little orientation of where we are. Okay, now we're coming down the road that goes along the beach area, and that's the public access parking for the beach. That's people that are coming in for the day use area or campers that want to park near the beach. And we're entering the Marina area. There's lots of parking in here at the Marina. And like I said earlier, we parked our unit in here while we were waiting for our spot to open. It's got a really nice ramps for putting your boat in. This is the entrance to the Marina area from the Bayside, just to show the boaters how they get in and out of the Marina. It's nicely deep carved out of there, sailboats and power boats in here. There is the snorkeling boat that they have. They take out to, I think they take this out to Sombrero Key Lighthouse, and that's all reserved in the Dockmaster. So just another view of the Marina. It's really cool that this state park has this Marina area. It's really an awesome feature of the park. And here is the gift shop and Dockmaster area where you would rent canoes and things like that and set up a snorkel trip.
And they actually have quite a store, as you can see. Plus, they have fresh food there. So I was very surprised to see such a large store at a state park.
And here coming up is the place where you would come and reserve a kayak trip or a snorkel trip or something like that. Okay, here's the Bayside Beach. This is an awesome beach facing the Bayside area. The water being much more calm in here.
But it becomes very, very busy.
Yeah, during the weekends, it would be crazy busy down here, and it's not a really deep beach. It's a small beach, which I'm sure has changed since the hurricane. But it's an awesome place to hang out.
Also, you can't bring your dogs there.
Yeah, no dogs on the beach, anywhere on any of the beaches. A little place here at the end here to go fishing.
And here is the Nature Center. You can actually look at the sign outside to find out what time the trolley golf cart takes you for a tour. It's great for kids. You can see they have all sorts of information, and they have this really cool map. Now, this is where you go towards the bridge. We actually did take the dogs along this walk, and we just passed some steps. I went right underneath the bridge and got some really cool shots of the bridge from underneath. And also, they have a lot of information. This is a very famous little walk up to the old Bahia Honda Beach Bridge. And again, the dogs are allowed up here all the way and even onto the bridge.
Now, this is definitely one of the things you have to do when you come to Bahia Honda. The view you get from the top of the bridge here is awesome. You can see the entire park.
But one of my favorite things to do at Bahia Honda was the long walk along the beach. We started at the public parking and went all the way down.
Now, this is actually in the section of the park that is actually closed, but you are allowed to walk down the beach and access it through the beach.
And maybe that is why we seem completely alone and with just the sounds of the water and the birds. It was great. Thank you very much for watching this campground review of Bahia Honda State Park in the Keys. We hope this helped you pick your new favorite spot, so hit that thumbs up. Our next video will be about some of our favorite things to do outside the campground while in the Keys. Subscribe and get notified so you don't miss out. Please leave a comment or feel free to ask questions. Just remember, downsizing does make sense.